Just the skyrocketing real estate prices. It's great for the homeowners, but for families that want to buy a home, it's almost impossible.
In the direction that we're going, there is no way that I will be able to retire and stay in my home state.
New Jersey is definitely moving to the right. I see it, and even if we don't succeed at this election, I think we will eventually become a swing state.
What the black community in Elizabeth is starting to see is that we cannot keep voting for the same party without any progress.
It's not a Democratic Party that puts American citizens first. It's a Democratic Party that puts America last.
Can New Jersey go Republican this election, this upcoming election? To be honest, I think we did 4 years ago, but I don't trust the last gubernatorial election.
Mr. Ohio is in the house.
Hundreds gathered at the Saddlebrook Diner not to see just one Republican running for governor, but two.
New Jersey is a state with a lot of Republicans who just don't know yet that they're actually Republicans.
Potential Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy came to New Jersey to endorse gubernatorial candidate Jack Ciattarelli.
If you want to restore merit in this state, back Jack. If you want to bring down costs in this state, back Jack. If you want to restore freedom of speech in this state, back Jack. If you want to wake up the American dream in this state, back Jack. If you want to make New Jersey great again, back Jack. We are ready, Jack, for change.
When I saw that Vivek was coming here to do a rally with Jack Ciattarelli, I said, that's it, enough, I gotta go.
Ciattarelli, for the most part, has embraced his endorsement from President Trump, arguing it's a strength, not a liability, and saying he can deliver results because of that connection. He told our Shannon Bream on Fox News Sunday he'll always stand with New Jerseyans.
My job is to represent fiercely the 9.3 million people that live here. And so when the president's right about New Jersey, I'm going to stand with the president, whoever he or she may be, whatever party they're from.
Ciattarelli is planning to soon hold tele-rallies with President Trump, hoping to fire up MAGA voters who don't always turn out in non-presidential election years. Rich.
So earlier this month, Democrat Abigail Spanberger was leading Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears by more than 5 points last Thursday. They met for their only scheduled debate. Let's look at these brand new numbers. The new poll shows Spanberger's 5-point lead has been cut in half, and the difference means that between them, it is within the poll's margin of error.
Wow, what a change.
Big change,
yeah,
big
just
change.
a couple of days.
Boy. So you got to talk about what appears to be a real-time implosion of the Democrat Party. Okay, the Democrats have a big test coming up in November. Okay, there are a few major races, namely the mayor of New York City race, which it looks like as of right now is going to be a easy victory for Zohran Mamdani, who is a socialist, right? And the Democrats are not pro Zohran Mamdani, at least not outright. Okay, they're actually pro Cuomo, but the socialists are taking over the Democrat Party, okay, and that is why Zohran Mamdani is likely to win that race, okay. But then you have the governor's races out in Virginia and in New Jersey, okay. Out in Virginia, you have Winsome Earl-Sears versus Abigail Spanberger. Winsome Earl-Sears being the current sitting lieutenant governor of Virginia, the Republican, and you have Abigail Spanberger, who's a former Democrat representative, who, for a vast majority of this race, was leading. She was the favorite to win. Now, that looks like it is changing rapidly going into the last few weeks of this contest, because this woman refuses to show that she has a backbone, enough backbone to denounce Jay Jones, the Democrat candidate for Attorney General, okay, who is facing off against Jason Mayoris. And Jay Jones got exposed with disgusting text messages fantasizing about killing Republican leaders and their children. And instead of denouncing this and unendorsing this individual, Miss Abigail Spanberger has basically said, well, you know, it's up to the voters to decide whether or not this guy should be Attorney General. I'm not going to take any type of real stance, right? I'm not going to show any type of real leadership. And because of this, she got exposed live on a debate stage. And ever since then, her poll numbers have been declining rapidly, along with Jay Jones, again, who's running for Attorney General.
When the two candidates in this year's race for Virginia governor took the debate stage last week,
set a better example.
We saw a contentious back and forth of interruptions. One issue the candidates clashed on was transgender student policies in schools.
Should transgender girls who are biological males be allowed to use girls' bathrooms and play on girls' sports teams in K through 12?
In cases across Virginia, I think it's incumbent upon parents and educators and administrators in each local community to make decisions locally.
That's what this is about.
Ms. Earl Sears?
There should never be nude men in locker
Oh my goodness,
rooms.
we finally have her saying that, but you voted for that.
Ms. Earl
Have
Sears.
you finally
My opponent
Ms. Earl
said
Sears,
that
you were
now?
just intruding on
Are
time
we in
here. We're
agreement
trying.
now? Are you
Ms.
going
Earl
to
Sears?
tell?
The second issue was how involved parents should be in their students' curriculum. Democrat Terry McAuliffe's stance on education during the 2021 debate in the Virginia governor's race is considered a major factor that contributed to his loss.
I stopped the bill that I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
That question was asked again at this year's debate.
Well, I absolutely believe that parents ought to be involved in their child's education. You know, I am my child's first teacher, and I don't co-parent with the government.
It is important that parents are involved every step of the way, as I have been.
Then
In
why
fact,
did you vote against
with
the Parental Rights Act?
with my ninth grade daughter, who is actually here with us in the audience.
ODU political science professor Jesse Richmond says knowing what happened 4 years ago, Spanberger knew how important her answer was to this question.
Spanberger, you could see, had a much stronger answer. She gave McAuliffe a lesson in how he ought to have answered that, in terms of talking about her own involvement, expressing her view that parents have to be actively involved in the education of their children.
It's unclear if last week's debate was enough to sway some voters. Keep in mind, early voting has already been underway for nearly a month, and many Virginians have already cast their ballots. Marcella Robertson, WUSA 9.
Yeah, tonight a new poll shows the race for governor is getting even tighter. Take a look at these numbers from the Trafalgar Group. It shows Spanberger leading Earl Sears by 2.5 points earlier this month. Spanberger was leading with more than 5 points. We're also seeing more support for Republican Jason Miyares in the Attorney General race. Miyares now leads Democrat Jay Jones by more than 5 points. Jones had been ahead of Miyares until the recent text scandal broke.
Yeah, so once again, we are experiencing a surge by Republicans and an implosion by the Democrats, okay? The Democrat candidates, because you have Jay Jones, he is somebody that fantasizes about killing Republicans and their children. Common sense voters, independents are like, I don't think this guy should be top cop, okay? And also you have Abigail Spanberger, who apparently doesn't know the difference between a boy and a girl, right? She refuses to actually denounce the comments, right? To denounce his candidacy, to tell him to drop out, to actually take a leadership position. And I think that's dragging her down as well, too, okay? And the Republican candidates are taking advantage of this. And you're seeing the poll numbers are starting to change, okay? With just a few weeks left, it looks like the momentum is in favor of Republicans, okay? And that's just not true in Virginia, but it's also true in New Jersey, okay? As you have Jack Ciattarelli, who is closing in on Mikey Sherrill.
So I doubt very much whether this is somebody who could stand here and say that she's tough on crime. But the fact that she voted to get rid of qualified immunity for local police, which is the bedrock of their protection, and the fact that she's did this dance with Mandami, she's not about public safety.
My opponent denigrates public service at every turn. He said law enforcement shouldn't get the pay they get because there's a lot more dangerous jobs out there where people make less.
Okay, Republican Jack Ciattarelli and Democrat Mikey Sherrill at the New Jersey gubernatorial debate earlier this month. We have repeatedly invited both candidates to join us on Fox News Sunday. Jack Ciattarelli said yes. Mikey Sherrill, your invitation remains open. We'd love to have you anytime. Jack, thank you for joining us this morning.
Shannon, great to be with you.
Okay, so we have brand new Fox News polling out on your race this week. It is tightening. You're still lagging by 4 to 5 points based on some of the data. But the polling also showed us that registered voters there in New Jersey care mostly about economic issues. They're worried about taxes, about inflation, about housing costs. But our polling also shows those same voters give your opponent the edge on those issues. How do you close this out in the next couple of weeks and change those minds? Can you?
Shannon, not to be disagreeable, but our polls have it much closer, and I think it's the reason why you've seen my opponent get so desperate with her attacks, her blatant lies, one of which is going to land her in court. You know, Shannon, I only have 2021 to compare this to. You remember how close that was? I really thought we were going to win this race, that race. This one is very different. The energy across the state is electric. The reception in minority communities has been great, and I'm being endorsed by prominent Democrats. That tells you all you need to know in terms of the people in New Jersey wanting change, and that's what this election is all about, change.
This probably is the race that Republicans should watch the most, because this is the one that we have the best chance of winning, okay? And flipping New Jersey would be historic, okay, for Republicans. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Mikey's integrity, grit, and commitment to service are what we need right now in our leaders.
Jack doesn't care. You deserve a governor who will take on anyone who gets in New Jersey's way, who fights for your state. And you know what? The great thing is, you got a candidate like Mikey Sherrill.
New Jersey Democrat hopeful Mikey Sherrill hoping for a boost from Democrat powerhouses as Republican Jack Ciattarelli closes in with just weeks in the New Jersey election. It is one of the hottest elections in the country.
New Jersey GOP Congressman Jeff Van Drew joining us now. Congressman, what do you make of this race? Mikey Sherrill obviously trying to get some closers from Governor Whitmer to Obama's endorsement. And then, of course, she's hitting the streets with the No Kings protesters.
I tell you what I make of it. We're going to win. We are going to win this thing, and I can give you all the reasons why. And bringing in, the political elite, the political cool people is not going to do it. It's not going to connect with the people of the state of New Jersey. You really idea what's really going on in New Jersey. You know what's going on in New Jersey? We're paying more for taxes, tolls, fees. We're paying way more for utility bills. We're tired of paying for a sanctuary state and all that goes along with that. We're tired of putting criminals back on the street over and over again with liberal prosecutors. We are just sick and tired of it all. And you know what else we're tired of, by the way? Interfering with children and their parents in schools. It's enough. And it's even more than Republican and Democrat. It's just a return to normalcy. New Jersey is a funny state. Yeah, we're a blue state. But by the way, let me say this. Just see, 200,000, probably close to 250,000 people now have changed over to Republican. It used to be a difference of well over 1 million more Democrats than Republicans, and now it's down to 800,000. And by the way, in my district, it's a big part of it. We've almost turned 50,000 people over from Democrat to Republican. So there is a lot in there, and I'll finally wrap up with this. Jack Ciattarelli is within, according to the polls, actually I think he's winning, but according to the polls, he's within single digits. Last time, when he just about won it, he was a whisper away. He was supposedly double digits out in the polls. Wow. Republicans don't poll that well. It's going to be a big victory for Jack Ciattarelli, for Republicans, most of all for New Jerseyans who are worn out with all the crap.
Well, let's hope so, right? I hope so. I hope they're worn out too, okay? I mean, this whole country should be worn out of Democrats. And apparently, again, one of the big reasons why New Jersey is in play is because of the grassroots efforts led by activists like, for example, Scott Pressler, who has been campaigning heavily in that state in order to get people to register Republicans, to rally Republicans, to flip New Jersey red. And I think it is important to highlight the people who are on the ground doing the Lord's work here. Because, again, I think that this is important, right? This is how you flip states, swing states.
Pressler's early vote action is galvanizing frustrated voters to support Republicans, many for the first time.
These are voters here in the state that I've heard from people even here that tell me, Scott, I'm forced to possibly move to another state because of the high property taxes, because of the high electricity bills that they have. And if I'm America First, that means that I have to help all of my beautiful Americans here in our country. And if I see people struggling, well, that's why I'm here to elect good people into office like Jack Ciattarelli.
Well, I really never thought it mattered. That's why I never voted before. But after 2016 and 2020, and I saw the difference between the 2 years and how Trump was blamed for things that happened when he wasn't even in office. And how 20 million more voters showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning in 2020. All of that just got to me. And, I said to myself, like, if everybody says their vote doesn't matter, then no one's going to vote, So I registered to vote right after. I registered to vote on and Butler on July 13th. After the first assassination attempt, I registered to vote that day online. Like that was my it, was July 13th.
Well, they're looking at their election.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people. But again, the main point of this video is that people need to be aware that in Virginia and New Jersey, we have two huge races. If we can win at least one of these races, right? If we can win Virginia or win New Jersey, right now it looks like we got the best shot at New Jersey. That will be devastating for Democrats. And the reason why is because Democrats are expected to sweep, okay? We know that Zoran is going to win in New York. Now, again, even though, Democrats will probably say that he's not really a Democrat, again, it counts as a leftist win, okay? But if we can pick off Virginia or New Jersey, best case scenario, we get both of them. Yeah, I mean, that would be devastating for Democrats because essentially at that point, that would show that they have made absolutely zero progress since President Trump was put back into office, right? That their anti-Trump campaign, their Trump derangement is not enough to rally voters to support them, right? That is what it essentially would show. And the only thing that Democrats have to offer right now is Trump derangement. If these races show that Trump derangement doesn't work, right, that you can't rely on that, it's going to force Democrats back to the drawing board. And, who knows? Maybe they'll actually move to the right. Maybe they will actually become a sane party. They will reject the far left. But, I think that these races is going to really determine the direction that Democrats continue to go in, especially considering how Mamdani is likely to win in New York. But if Democrats end up picking up losses in New Jersey and in Virginia, yeah, that is going to be a very, very, very bad situation for the Democrats. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.